close to him. Let's go, John. Or wrist. Yeah. Go ahead. And you go. Oh! That's it. Oh! Zirkashvili there. He's out. It's a bait, that hand and wrist. Definitely got some Bertie straps. Don't lie. Here we go. And I think if you're a general U.S. arm wrestler, you feel, dang, Todd Hutchins took care of Irakli. John Brzenk 100% is going to take care of it. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, styles make matches. Irakli got some hand and wrist position on Todd Hutchins, but if we know who Todzilla is, he's totally comfortable with a little bit of kink back and there. His side pressure stays initiated in that situation. John Brzenk, a different guy, requires a little more purchase on the hand, a little more rotation. And if he can get in there, you're going to see John Brzenk be dominating. But don't be surprised if Irakli is incredible. Top roll. From Irakli Zirkashvili. Oh, to the side, separates John a little. Breaks off, and the Storm starts to gain a little hand control and hold on the hand and wrist, and there is the buckle from Zirkashvili, and that is only the signs for the young Georgian. John, relax, John, relax, John. Lead him out, baby. Just relax there, big guy. Don't let him pin himself in this. No. He's had the wrist there. You could see how much the Perfect Storm is enjoying his day. And the surge coming with the compromised hand and wrist usually gets cinched in for the entire super match. It's really good because the limit there is, you go past the elastic limit of the arm. Once you go past the elastic limit of the joint, recovery is extremely difficult. Zirkashvili needs to change something. He needs to go with a little greater wrist and protect it more. John Brzenk has got great opportunities now. I think he's going to start to pull a shot. There's no doubt. And you think about this, John Brzenk looking for a $10,000 bonus here from his sponsors in Louisiana. The Fusion Flowback Equipment Company, they're watching the broadcast here. They've already listen, big time things happening again for the GOAT of arm wrestling. Zirkashvili adjusting the position. There is much higher. He's driven that lower arm forward, and he's going to try and hit with a much deeper drive. And there it is, but the brakes are on again. Now watch John Brzenk. He'll hang off that lap, protect the pronate. He's looking to bust back the wrist of Irakli. Irakli is starting to try and tease John's wrist and trying to gain some purchase, but John, all that pressure is going to draw. This is great for Brzenk. He's happy with that. Oh my word, what a drive. No doubt in those patience, right? I think the patience will work out for John as this match. However, Irakli did show ridiculous match right there. I haven't seen Irakli. He showed the unexpected is what he showed. We've never seen that from him before, and this is a brilliant transition. When the wrist flopped back, I expected him to be really comfortable with that, but I'll tell you what, that was great from Zirkashvili. A new move for that guy, and it worked very, very effectively. Questions to be asked, how cast his job? And what happens when you see, that's the trick play, the Hail Mary, the reverse that you see in all these football games early. When teams use those extra plays in those crazy situations in order to get an early win, you just wonder how many times can the Georgian go to that move. I don't see it happen, and I see John Brzenk being much more aggressive once he gets control of the hand and wrist. It's interesting, isn't it? It changes the game immensely, because if you look across at John, remember, this is a man approaching 60 years old. He's blowing. And this is a very young athlete he's facing. It's a vibrant athlete, and it's a guy that's just realized, wait a minute, I may have another lane here. Maybe I don't need to run. Maybe I can go straight at this guy. And we may see that from Zirkashvili. Let's see if he has
has the lane now that John knows that the lane exists. I'm thinking John thought this is a bleeding out. I can wait here and hit itself before this round is over. And then you see the transition, you see the purchase, you see the drive, and you start to think, or if Irakli wins this, man, that shoulder is going to be screaming on his ride home.
Well, let's just talk about another angle of that. Obviously, just as that went in, I mean, I showed my colours and said, oh, John, happy with this. And I think John probably was. As soon as the wrist was busted back, ordinarily, John Brazing thinks the threat's over and he goes to rest there and just puts the damage on the wrist. What nobody expected, apparently including John, was for Irakli to dive on it with the shoulder. Now, however, John is aware of that, and we know that he's got every box ticked to protect him.
And John had the good side of the strap going through there. Now in round two, he's going to see the buckle on in the back of his hand. He should be a little bit better here. I just don't see any sort of gas.
Better access to the wrist. Travis stayed away. Now he'll go on the offensive much more, and he'll fight much more. Very different approach. Irakli selling that elbow,
and you can see the angle, right? If that thing is set at 10 o'clock, if there's an ability to get the shoulder behind it to really drive. John is keeping that thing right at 12 o'clock. You see the desperation. That's
क्या हुआ? शाम तक काम करते करते ना रोज बदन में दर्द हो जाता है, वैसे सर दर्द भी हो रहा है।
तो ऊपर से होगा बेबी, अंदर से तो खाली है। ये लो राहत का राजा, नवरत्न तेल, सर दर्द, थकान, टेंशन, अनिद्रा को इसकी 2 मिनट की चंपी करे गुल और तुम्हें बनाए खूब नवरत्न तेल।
दुर्गा पूजा दिवाली बनेगी स्टाइलिश और यादगार। साड़ी हाउस के साथ साड़ी, सूट, बेड, विमेन, किड्स वेयर सभी के लिए के बजट में। आज ही आए अपोजिट जामा मस्जिद लहरिया सराय दरभंगा।
So guys,
we've seen 3 starts, 1 win, and 2 times that Irakli has intentional fouled when you see the match going clearly in the perfect storm's direction.
Showing his experience without a shadow of a doubt. Saakashvili there knew he was in serious trouble. He fails and he looks for the restart to get a better groove.
You saw 1 attempt at the top roll, a little bit of hand position, where in the earlier starts you could see 2 or 3 surges. 1 surge going straight to that press, but that press not being in the right angle. Ladies and gentlemen, and I've said this about 30 times, what you are watching is absolutely extraordinary. This guy is better at arm wrestling than anyone is at anything else in the world. Take it in right now. You never know when it's going to be over with John Brazing. What an extraordinary time that we're in.
Now, as I said a moment ago, the big adjustments made by John there in the setup, in the positioning of the lower palm, and don't forget, it's the punch that you didn't see coming that puts you on. And John didn't see the press. Nobody saw the press coming from Saakashvili. Now that's there, it will be a different approach. From Saakashvili's perspective, he's got to hope that he's put enough miles on the clock to tire the older athlete. John very diligent now. He's very tuned into this match. Looks much more awake. He knows he's going to get better access to Saakashvili's wrist and does so again. Now he's a little stretched open. Not quite as good there, but that's an excellent block from John.
Here comes the transition to the press here. It's about to happen. Irakli being very intelligent about not sinking it in. Right here it comes. Now, John Brazing at 12 o'clock standing in. There's a problems there with Irakli. There's no way to finish the perfect storm in this position.
Now, John, if he's smart, he's just going to hang in there for a while. There it is. There's the press finish. And to be honest, Saakashvili not tested. He knows that every second that goes onto the clock in that position is doing damage to himself. And John, little resting spot. Experience counts. Brazing in front. Let's listen in the corners. John working hard for his supper tonight, but look at John's resting spot there, that lift-up climb, but what he's doing is preventing himself going on the B side. Just anchor point, and as soon as Irakli felt there that he had no purchase, says it.
And let's talk about the here and history of John Brzezinski. What does he do against Irakli? The greatest top roller in this division. I mean, this guy is pure iron outside, Neil. And what does John do? He takes the hand of him 3 of the darts.
I mean, let's be honest here, Travis. He's had a lot of training for this with guys like yourself, Arsene Liliev. This guy has pulled so many styles. Often we talk about the biggest threat to John. This style is a problem for John. It is, but we're scratching because no style is a problem for John if John is there and present in the match. And it's fantastic and truly unbelievable that we've still got an athlete that approaching 60 years of age can contest it with the youngest prime athletes in his weight division on earth. And that's what you are seeing. The perfect storm is just that.
What a man, what a man. Ladies and gentlemen, John Brzezinski in Istanbul, in control. Irakli, absolute phenomenal athlete, and John beating him at his game. What an absolute stud.
And you know, the interesting thing is, this is doing a lot of favors also for Irakli Zirakashvili. He will go away from this match much smarter and more experienced. He has just crossed paths with an arm wrestling god, and there's so many lessons that he can learn from this. So many lessons we can all learn from this. Anyone who aspires to dominate this game, watch what is happening in front of you. The adjustments, the nuance from John Brzezinski, the positioning. The fact that he's fatiguing a man half his age. Truly remarkable. Myself and Travis are taking it in. This is our hero.
Go, John. Absolutely. What a treat to be right here. I mean, what are we in? Round 3? Is this round 3? Or round 3? So 1-1. The cards of the GOAT.
Now, once again, we can see straight away access to the hand and wrist by John, and he pulls up in the centre there and denies the A side from Zirakashvili. Little climb, little bump. There's the transition attempt. Couldn't get it, but he's climbed again and will start to diligently work around. Every time there's a breath, he'll collect. And Zirakashvili doesn't have the heart for that. Another pin for the Storm.
Wow. I'm so impressed with John Brzezinski. What a man, what a man. 2-1 now. And clearly, there is no lane for Irakli to come with a win here. John Brzezinski absolutely dominated.
Pushed hard to the side, but he's damaging himself. It's attritional. And John, with the little climbs, the little bumps, and then the squeeze to the side, shutting down the light on the younger man. The Georgian drives for the pad, on the breath, counter, winner, Brzezinski.
अगर आपको भी अपनी वीडियोस को नेक्स्ट लेवल पर ले जाना है तो सीखो ऐप डाउनलोड करो इंस्टॉल नाउ पे क्लिक करो और अभी सीखो ऐप डाउनलोड करो
Leap ahead with timely SIPs. Start investing now.
Mutual fund investments are subject.
Brzezinski, as usual.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
The scene and send the maximum don't keep this.
That's the items right there. You see John Brzezinski, the GOAT over there between matches. He's got a Russian counterpart. Dennis, his coach and manager over there, interested in the GOAT. Look at there. Look at the rubbing takes place. Oh, man, that should be me. I should be down there rubbing up on the GOAT right now.
One of the most incredible things about John is the fact that he's so everyman, so approachable. See if we can catch the words from John there.
Yeah, you just control that, and then when he comes to press, just defend it.
Let's give it to Michael Todd there, Mr. Cap. There, what kind of coaching could you possibly be helping him with? He's up 2-1, dominating right here. Is that just a way for you to get a little camera time there? Monster, get in the back and get ready for Unger Bayev. I'll take over the coaching of one John Brzezinski, son.
Difficult situation to be in now for Irakli Zirakashvili. He started Actually shown more of his game than he's ever shown before, tried to change things up. This is a fabulous arm wrestler.
Well, it just shows you too the purchase that he got on that top row early in the first round. He was separated. He had changed the connection enough that even with a move that he's probably not in his wheelhouse, was able to have so much leverage there to push down. And I think John was hoping that that would last about 20 more seconds before Irakli would give up, and kind of backed up a little bit. Was a little surprised by the surge, and that's how we got to that one win on Berzink. Since then, absolutely John Berzink fashion, just stopping everything in the center of the table, and then knowing that any sort of surge by you would compromise the hand and wrist, and then John knowing not to let him in that 10 o'clock to where the angle's there, keeping it up there at around 12 o'clock, and now
the drive.
The surge, the hand being compromised, the goat now, you'll see him start to look at the bicep, look at the crowd. No reason to be in a hurry. Irakli will take care of everything.
It's over. John Berzink there, looking to the side. Zirakashvili's heart's not in. Here comes the press from John. Hanging on it there. Great from Irakli, just to hang as long as he did there. John, little climb, and he's allowing access. Wow! He gassed out. Unbelievable.
Think about what you're seeing. You're seeing the guys that are trying to win, losing the advantage. That's 2-2. John Berzink, man, what a man. And this is another thing that the GOAT does.
Wow.
It's always a 4, 3, 4, 5 round compromise. Even then, you imagine that playing no chance of thinking there'd be enough side pressure there for a win.
Hats off to Irakli Zirakashvili right there. Posted up the back pressure, made John work. John committed, came in for the press potentially a little early. We can see it there on the replay. You cannot take that away from Irakli Zirakashvili. Twice in this match, that young man has shocked me. Remarkable performance. And what an exciting matchup.
And what a great, now you can see even how proud Irakli, his entire, regardless of the thing here. And I'll tell you, man, a part of this is scary. I think John has to really wait. He has to really wait for Irakli to give up. Any sort of trying to get rid of this match early is turning out to be bad for both these teams. The surge is getting stopped and countered each time.
Fatigue is becoming a thing. I said earlier in the match that on the clock of John, but enough damage that he simply runs out of gas. I've got to be honest, I didn't think that was going to be the case there, but John feeling at the pace of the match there. Big breaths. What adjustments are going to be present now? Now, quite interesting for Irakli. Twice he's seen that he's got enough arm strength. If he can connect early and keep the match enemy near the center, keep John chasing him, he can do something here.
Yeah, there seems to be a great angle there, and it seems that once John changes that connection to further outside of the hand that he gets Irakli, he allows that palm to be free, and that's where the surge is coming from the Georgian. I tell you, I've never been, this is stressing me out being in this thing here. I want to be down there because John needs, I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll be okay, but it'd be really nice to give him a little firm, little yelling at him, let him know that he needs to be super aggressive here. And then really smart. Once he gets that wrist curl, no reason to change. Just like a snake, just keep tightening up, staying.
बिहार के किसी भी जिले से पटना पहुंचना घंटे में हुआ संभव। 2025 में सड़कों की लंबाई बढ़कर हुई 26,081 किलोमीटर, जो 2005 की तुलना में लगभग दोगुनी है। नदियों पर 17 नए पुल, 5 एक्सप्रेसवे और हाई स्पीड कॉरिडोर के निर्माण से आसान होगी यात्रा। 1 लाख किलोमीटर से अधिक ग्रामीण सड़कों के निर्माण से गांव तक पहुंचा विकास। बेहतर पथों का निर्माण अर्थव्यवस्था को बना रहा गतिमान।
कॉलेज ढूंढना मतलब पढ़ाई अलग, पैसा अलग और प्लेसमेंट अलग स्ट्रगल। बट इतना स्ट्रेस कौन लेगा? बट संदीप यूनिवर्सिटी मधुबनी इज डिफरेंट। यहाँ 100% प्लेसमेंट असिस्टेंस, बिहार स्टूडेंट क्रेडिट कार्ड से 0 स्ट्रेस एडमिशन, प्रैक्टिकल एंड स्टडी रेडी कोर्सेज, सॉर्टेड फ्यूचर चाहिए तो आज ही अप्लाई यहाँ पर जाकर रजिस्टर करें।
Ending up staying there at between 12, 10 o'clock. No reason to surge. I don't think you'll see John go after that.
Well, I was just going to say, Travis, the concern there is why did John surge so early? Because he's been accessing the hand easy, he's been climbing easy. Let's see if we get here off the stop. There's a big drive. Now Brazink gets a much better position on the hand and wrist. Watch for the little climb.
Little grip there. Watch.
Oh, he's baited, and that is not a good idea. Needs to hang tight. Tighten up that last. Castelli's selling it hard to the side of John Brazink. Little climb. Edging up there, but he's showing the fatigue. You can see him looking to set up the edge around. He's trying to pulse. Big drive again from Castelli, but he's going to climb again, John, in a moment. There it is.
One more surge and he'll quit. One more surge.
Wow, it's on the ragged edge. Castelli trying to hold into it there. He's selling everything. John has the A side, but it's margin. Nowhere to go. There's the press. Wow, big drive, couldn't finish. He's got a great position, but Irakli, absolutely tenacious. John Brazink with the ball. Castelli with the win. Irakli, Castelli outlast the goal. The perfect storm simply ran out. Is a phenomenal and unexpected victory for the young Georgian, and John Brazink is beaten in dramatic fashion in a match that at one stage he looked like he was going to dominate. Unbelievable stuff here at East versus West 6.
I cannot believe what I just. Irakli with an absolute grinder right there, and then to the point where he's giving up, and then somehow the surge, every time John got aggressive to the pin pad, it ended up being a problem. Irakli, what a huge win for the young man from Georgia. John Brazink, an absolute stud, sportsmanship, super proud of the young man. Both of those guys will be feeling it in the morning. What an outstanding match here. My goodness. And maybe, man, the replay of John trying to win. Right here comes the surge. Check the replay. Look at that elbow, right? Oh, that was match 3. John Brazink, you can see it on his face. The surge here. In round 5, John Brazink in control. You're thinking, there's a surge. Ooh. That was also match 3. We're showing all the replays here. This has got to be match 5 here. You saw John Brazink there. It's just an inch from the pad.
बोल दिया फॉलो
Just the positioning right there's no way